Hello everyone, this is Juliana and today I have a project share for you. I also have some really wonderful news. I just opened up my Etsy store a couple weeks ago and I am going to be offering journals along with handmade pendant jewelry. So bravo, I finally did it. It only took me like a couple years, but I wanted to thank all those people like my friend Jerry Bellini, who has a store, Recycled Arts for Parts. You should check out her channel. Also want to thank Lori Jagadish of the Daily Journal. She has a store on Etsy and she also has a YouTube channel. They both do, and they were very helpful in moving me along with this project. So today I'm going to show you this coffee themed journal that I made out of a actual coffee export bag. It's Burlap. And it was much longer than what you see in front of you, and I cut parts of it and turned it into a journal. So let's start, and I will list below the link to my store, and also if you have any questions or comments regarding this video, please let me know. This is new for me, so I might leave things out that are of interest to you. So the coffee journal itself is 6 inches by 9 inches. The spine is 2 1/4, and it's sewn into the spine so you can see the actual stitching on the spine, which I'll show you in a moment. It's got 4 signatures, 3 pockets, 5 tuck spots, 4 side loading pockets, 11 journaling cards, and 6 tags. It's got a total of 58 pages, but if you count all the sides, it's 116. There is definitely a lot of room. I've done my best to give room for whoever decides to purchase it. There is room to write. What's nice about it is it sits pretty nice. It's not like, a gator mouth, so you can add some photos and definitely write away in it. So to begin with, the cover is burlap. I have a hitch post which keeps it closed, and an elastic band which goes over and keeps it nicely closed. This is a very unique Victorian trim that a friend swapped with me, and along the spine, and I hope you can see, is I've used craft text, and this is a very sturdy book. I've used Tyvek to reinforce it, and it's nice and strong. And I have made a book charm, and on the book charm are some beautiful crystal beads, glass beads, a coffee cup for those of us who adore coffee, and a dress form, and a cupcake. So there are some tails hanging off, some strings. There's a lot of stitching in this journal. If you're not into strings, you can always cut them off, but I like the way it looks. So let me zoom in a little. Okay, so let's open up and go inside. So the inside cover is covered in a duck cloth, it's like a canvas, and the first signature has an image of Lauren Bacall drinking coffee. I hope you can see that. And she looks very cool. She's got a cigarette in her mouth. Sorry about that. And here is just a banner that says welcome. And this is one of the journaling cards. This is, if you haven't recognized, this is Brigitte Bardot drinking her coffee. So this is a little tuck spot that goes here. And then up here in the right-hand corner is a stamp of a coffee cup. And I've used a lot of vintage ephemera throughout the book. I've tried to use as much vintage ephemera as possible to keep it authentic. And this is business paper with a heading that I got from Gayle. I'm sure most of you know her if you follow her YouTube channel. At the moment, I cannot say her last name, and please forgive me, Gayle. But I just love this paper. So here's a pocket. It's made out of a faux leather that I create. It's got some vintage lace, and Brigitte fits nicely into there. So I'll try to go quickly because there's a lot to see, but I don't want this to be an hour. So this is a vintage envelope from 1946 that's been sewn onto the scrapbook paper. A tag with a vintage advertisement of women, probably from the 40s, 50s, typing away, ready for their coffee break. This is ledger paper from my personal stash, 1924, music hymn paper. So hodgepodge of a little bit of everything. Here is Al Pacino drinking his cup of coffee. This is a tuck spot here with this beautiful, it's the last of this vintage trim, Victorian trim. And I have a little tab here which says Java. More ledger paper. This is an actual vintage photo that's been sewn on of a little girl sitting on a bench. And this is this fabulous advertisement for hair color from the 1960s from a Vogue. It's actual from the magazine. And here is the very sexy Anita Ekberg drinking coffee in bed. If any of you know Federico Fellini, the director, she was a famous actress in La Dolce Vita. So here's another pocket. This is made out of a doily that I got from Margarete Miller. She also has a wonderful YouTube channel, and she has a great group on Facebook, if you're not aware of it, vintage collage and vintage collage and glue books. There's a tag, an address card here, and then the fabulous Elvis Presley suited up to go to war, I guess the Korean War, and drinking his coffee. This is a baggie that I purchased from the Daily Journal, Laura Jagadish's store, which you guys should check out. And if I didn't mention, my friend Jerry Bellini, who gave me this beautiful trim, has a great store on Etsy called Recycled Arts for Parts. A cupcake liner. And here's a tag with, I think this is Brazilian coffee tag. This is a gingham pocket that I made and embellished with some burlap trim and this little doily. And here's an authentic vintage letter that you can read while you're drinking your coffee from 1946. And on this page, so again, you can see there's definitely room for writing, is a vellum pocket, and I've stamped Sumatra on it. And this is some vintage fabric that I've created a ruffle out of. And this is Twiggy, for those of you who remember her drinking coffee. I thought it would be a lot of fun to incorporate famous actors actually drinking coffee. So this is a score pad paper, and it flips up if you want to do some secret writing. And here's a tuck spot with some very interesting Victorian trim. Another tag. It's very sweet. It's German coffee. This is a Russian book page. Here's another tab. I created these tabs throughout the book. This one says mocha, of different kinds of coffee from different regions. More ledger paper. The other side of the envelope. And this says, for extra energy on the job, have another cup of coffee. I don't know how many of you are coffee addicts, but I definitely am. This is a scanned image from a magazine from the 40s, coffee ad. And this is a stamp that I carved myself of a mochador coffee maker. Those are the kind of coffee makers that you can make espresso out of. And this is this incredible image of Marilyn Monroe drinking coffee. Onward. I've done some stamping throughout. Here's a little coffee cup to go. This again, I got this from Gayle. Thank you, Gayle, for this. It's from the Alamo Plaza Hotel course. Some cupcakes. And this is a double pocket to hold these tags. So I'll just show you quickly. This is a tag of Haiti. This Haitian woman with her coffee. And I've used different decorative papers throughout the book. This says Lion Coffee. Here is a doily from Margarete Miller. Thank you, Margarete. This is for my own personal stash. And actually, I'm going to be selling these checks. They are from the Corn Bank, and this one is dated 1918. I hope that's going into focus. And another tuck spot with some more Victorian trim. And a sweet tag from Italy. And what would a coffee journal be without an actual coffee filter? So that's right at the center of the signature. The other side of the check. And this is a scanned image. 1 second. I want to change something. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's better. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Hold on. All right, so it's got, this supposedly was a well-known brand of coffee, Chase and Sanborn. And this is another advertisement for Cantor Coffee, I guess, which was, I think this is, I own this advertisement, and I believe this is from the 30s, and I turned it into this sweet little booklet from scraps of coffee dyed paper. If I haven't said it already, most everything in here is coffee dyed and distressed. Here is an actual, this is a side loading pocket, Revealing Romances, which turns out to be a pretty gossipy woman's magazine from the 50s. This is 1955, and inside I have this Old Maid card. I hope you go into focus. Allie Commons gave that to me years ago, and I'm happy to finally use it. Here is a journal card of Danny Thomas, and I believe that's Grace Kelly drinking a cup of coffee. And here is the famous Hitchcock reading the newspaper and, of course, drinking a cup of coffee with his dog friend. Here's this lovely piece of very fragile vintage lace. Again, thank you, Marguerite. And it's just a little flip up and adds a little texture and fun to the journal. Here's another long tag with cameras on it, vintage cameras. For those of you who don't know, I'm also a photographer. This is from a cooking book, a Betty Crocker cooking book for children. I thought that fitted in, cupcakes and coffee. And another tag with this very lush picture of this woman breathing in the fumes of her coffee, or it might be tea, but it looked great to me. Here again is some more vintage lace that Marguerite sent me. And this is Mia Farrow as a young woman after she cut off her hair into a little pixie. And there's these lovely stains, coffee stains throughout the book. And final page is this this is the actual ad for a typewriter. It says, bring your typing under fingertip control. And I wish I owned that typewriter. I don't know about you. So this is an ad from a woman's magazine. And then lastly, I have a Jane Mansfield journal card. She's drinking coffee in bed. And of course, this wonderful image of two GI Janes during World War II working on the home front and having a break with a cup of coffee. And on the final page is from the burlap sack. I created a little pocket / tuck spot, embellished it with some lace, and I've just put a card inside which says Handmade with Love and the name of my store, which is JujuBeeLove. And again, more canvas on the back. And here is the elastic band that closes the book. So that's about it. Here's the back of the book. I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you on my Etsy store. I would love any feedback you can give me, and I hope to see you again. Take care, friends. Bye.